today we're going to be taking a look at this, the Radeon HD 5770. Now a couple years ago, if you were to ask someone, what's the best budget card you can get? I'm sure a lot of people would have directed you to this. But is that still true in 2019? Well, that's what we're going to be finding out today. So, I originally got hold of this card because I bought this thing, a 2006 1.1 Mac Pro which, well, to be honest, didn't hold up to my expectations and frustrated me so much that I could not be bothered to cover it in a video. So now that the Mac Pro is sold on eBay, what should I do with the graphics card? Well, it's new video time. Releasing on October 12th of 2009 with an average price of £150 on launch, its whole life it has been known as the go-to mid-range graphics solution. Offering us a whopping 1GB of GDDR5 video memory and only requiring a single 6-pin power connector, it's clear to see why so many people lean towards the 5770 for their graphics processing needs. Now I'm sure most of you came here to see the actual performance, not just the specs of this card. So here's the benchmarks. So grab a cup of tea or a beer if that's more your thing. My trusty FX 6300 build is what we're going to be using to benchmark this card. A reminder for the newer viewers, it's currently running an FX 6300 Black Edition with 16GB of DDR3 memory, and for today's video we'll be swapping out our GTX 780 for our extremely long HD 5770. Starting off with good old GTA 5, running the benchmark at 720p normal or lowest settings. The card overall remained in the high 50s and was able to pull off a maximum of 72 FPS and an average of 56. To be honest, this card would be able to perform a lot better if it wasn't for the small amount of memory this card has. Left 4 Dead 2, and I don't have much to say about this. As with any Valve game, it ran excellent and there were no problems at the 1080p high preset. Watch Dogs 2 is up next, and it really showed that this card could not pull off any newer games, at least not smoothly. Even cranking it down to 720p with the lowest preset, the game was too demanding and it was obvious that the card was being stressed hard, which I found out after closing the game and MSI Afterburner showing me that it had been running at 100 degrees Celsius, definitely very toasty and not a healthy temperature to be running at whatsoever. Counter-Strike Source, yet another Valve game, and was perfectly fine at 1080p high. Minecraft is an interesting one. I've always known Minecraft to be more CPU dependent, but it was obvious at 1080p fancy that it was too demanding for the 5770. The game was noticeably jittery, and there were often frame rate drops when loading in any nearby chunks. Crysis unfortunately did not start. I know, right? A computer that's finally been defeated by Crysis. But nah, I don't believe this is a GPU fault, rather the fact that there is no support for Windows 10, as I tried every fix online to get it working but had no luck. Skyrim was an interesting one. It ran well, looked great, and there were no noticeable drops in frames at 1080p ultra high, something I was not expecting. Please excuse from the fact that I am absolutely trash at playing this and I still have no idea what I am doing. The newest in one of Bethesda's biggest franchises, Fallout 4, ran okay at 720p low. It felt sluggish at times, but across the board, 720p seemed to be the sweet spot. When bumping the resolution to 1080p, it was noticeably more demanding for the 5770, as expected. I was surprised when I saw that Just Cause 2 had set itself to the high preset at 1080p, and for sure when I got into the game I was not let down. I could perform the usual antics without the game being jittery. And for our final benchmark, PUBG, which was the downfall of this card. Running at 720p low, the video quality was too low to distinguish anything that was happening on screen, and for sure was not a pleasant experience. In conclusion, this card works excellent with older 720p titles. With some more memory allocated to it, this GPU could pull off some impressive results. As long as you buy this card, knowing you won't be playing the newest games at the highest settings, you'll have an excellent gaming experience. For those wanting to play newer, more demanding games, I'd recommend going with something low end for the same price from the green guys, such as the 1030 or the 1050 if your budget allows for it. I'm Owen, I hope you all enjoyed this video on the HD 5770, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. Well, that's what we're going to be... Yeah, of course it stops when I finish talking.